video, we're going to show you how to properly pick paint for your TiPX pistol. I first want to go over some of the paintballs out there today. You'll find a lot of paint. It'll be, soft or spongy. We typically recommend that you use a mid-grade to high-quality paintball. This paint right here, it has a nice shell to it, nice hard shell, and that's typically what we recommend in the TiPX pistols. Anything that's real soft, it'll get bound up in the magazine, and you'll possibly break paint with that. Same thing would go if you had a real brittle paintball. We usually will do a drop test with the paint. Anywhere from 3.5 to 4 feet is perfectly fine for a drop test. You're just going to take that paintball, drop it from that height, and if it's breaking on a hard surface like concrete or tile or whatever, it's probably a little bit too brittle for the TiPX, so you want to make sure that you have a good paintball that's not too brittle, and you definitely don't want it to be too soft, or like I said, it'll bind in the magazine. And we'll also show you how to load and unload your magazine. You first want to start off, here's your magazine, pull the carrier all the way down to the base, and it will lock into position. Once it's locked into position, you'll load your first paintball, and you'll kind of see naturally it'll kind of fall down into the left, and then you just go ahead and continue to load them, and they should stagger like a zigzag. Just get those loaded up, and this is just a standard 8-ball magazine. You're only going to be able to fit 8 paintballs in the magazine. You don't want to try force any more in the magazine than that. We get a lot of people that they'll say, yeah, I could fit 9 or 10 balls in the magazine. We really don't recommend that you do that. What'll happen is it'll split the magazine a little bit, and it'll make it really hard to put inside the marker. So try to stick to just loading 8 paintballs. From there, once you have your paintballs loaded, you want to make sure that you don't have them in there for a really long extended period of time. We don't recommend that you load them up the night before you go play. You want to make sure that you load them pretty much right before you go out and play, and try to keep them so they're not really hot or humid or anything like that. The paintballs will swell when it's real hot or humid, and that'll cause them to jam up in the magazine. So you want to make sure that when you're out there playing, you load them up before you go out and play, and not the night before. So we say you get done, at the end of the day, and you're finished playing, and you have a bunch of these magazines laying around that are still loaded, and you want to get them unloaded. You definitely want to unload these, because if you keep them loaded for a really long period of time, it'll compress that spring down, and then it won't really push the balls into the gun. So you definitely want to unload them after you're done playing. Real easy way to do that is I usually take something small like a 1/8 Allen key, or just anything real small that you can stick into the back of the magazine here. There's a small button. It's your carrier release button. When you slam the gun, or when you slam the magazine into the gun, it'll actually, there's a part in there that will push down on this, and it'll release the paintballs into the gun. We're pretty much doing the same thing, just doing it manually with a 1/8 Allen key. You're just going to push down on the carrier release, and then from there, and you can see how all those paintballs just rolled right out. It'll spring the carrier, and then it'll push all the paint out. And that's pretty much how you pick your paint, load and unload your TiPX magazine.